Look at that guy just barely getting his feet in bounds. Top 5 play of the week. Let's get after it. This is Huddle Timeout. Let's go. You know, we always got the best games, the top plays from across the country. An Alabama commit and Grayson, weak side defensive end Kevin Harris will talk to us. But first, Todrick Hunt of NJ Advanced Media gives us the players in New Jersey to keep an eye out for.
This is Todrick Hunt of NJ Advanced Media, here to talk about some of the top talent throughout the state of New Jersey's top emerging talent, 2020 guys that'll be juniors this upcoming season. Jalen Berger, just a tremendous national recruit at running back out of Don Bosco Prep, came out of the Brick City Lions youth football program down in North Jersey, one of the most successful programs throughout our great state, and he hasn't missed a beat. He was dominant then, he's dominant now. Started as a freshman, put up huge numbers, had an equally impressive sophomore year, and now he's the top recruit in the state for 2020. Gets the job done, a dynamic running back type, could also play some defensive back, play some corner, lock down the opposing team's best wide receiver. You can split him out, have him catch some balls for you. He basically can give you whatever you need from the offensive or defensive standpoint from the skill positions for Don Bosco. So he's certainly a young man with a ton of options that already has over 20 offers when you're talking to LSUs and the Alabamas and the who's who of college football. He's certainly a name to know. Fadil Diggs, a local kid from around this way at Woodrow Wilson in Camden, New Jersey. Big, long, 6'5", 245-pounder, also a 2020. Has about 20 plus offers, picked up a good 8-9 offers throughout the offseason, really getting after it. Does some 7-on-7 work throughout the offseason with NLG, plays some tight end, some receiver, so great overall athlete. Can give you something on both sides of the ball. Some schools are actually recruiting him on the offensive side of the ball, but I think he's a defensive end. I remember watching this tape when Coach Preston called me about him about 2.5 years ago. And what I found interesting is that he did a really nice job setting the edge. He was tough to trap. You know, he would fight to really hold down his area of the field. And those are rare traits to see in a freshman football player. And now you look at what he is already, a 20-plus offer kid, hasn't even played one snap in his junior year yet. So he's certainly come a long way, and he's an exciting guy to watch as that program continues to evolve and become one of the more talented programs throughout South Jersey. And a guy like Luke Whippler at St. Joe's Montville in North Jersey, super talented football player, played some offensive tackle last season as a sophomore, was only about 6'3", 245. He told me that secret. He weighed 245 out there playing offensive tackle, but had a heck of a year. Plays for Augie Hoffman, who I believe probably does one of the best jobs in the state of developing offensive linemen, a former offensive lineman himself. But now Whippler's a guy recently committed to Ohio State, had about 20 offers or so, really filling in his frame, somewhere around 285, 290 pounds now. Will probably play some center or some offensive guard, but you gotta love the technique, the physical hand placement, the good feet, just the overall athleticism.
Let's take a look at some of the best games in this week's Whiparound. Heading over to the Garden State, New Jersey, St. Joseph's and Our Lady of Good Counsel. This is a national top 20 matchup. Marvin Harrison Jr., 11 receptions, 110 yards, 2 TDs, and Cooper Kim batted down the Hail Mary attempt as time expired. St. Joseph's slip and pass Our Lady of Good Counsel, 34-27. Heading to the opposite side of the country in Washington, Sumner and Puyallup. Spartans hadn't given up a single point all season, but the Vikings piled up, get this, 536 yards of offense and scored on its first drive of the game. Jacob Holcomb, 19 of 32, 345 yards, and a big win for Puyallup. Defending 4A champion Puyallup dealt River Sumner a 37-7 loss. Denham Springs and Fontainebleau heading down to Louisiana in the Bayou. Running back Trey Muse's 12-yard touchdown run with 6:32 left gave the Yellow Jackets their first lead, and it held up. He finished the night with 122 yards on the ground. Denham Springs overcame a 16-point deficit to win 37-29. Evansville Central and Indiana and Castle, Brennan Schutt, 221 rushing yards. Give that kid a helmet sticker. Also had an 80-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. Big conference game saw Evansville Central edge out Castle 41-34. I'm getting a workout with these names this week. Xaverian and Bridgewater Raynham in Massachusetts. This was the biggest game in Massachusetts last weekend. Connor Garland, big night for this stud, had an 84-yard kick return that set up an early second half touchdown. Number 2, Xaverian ran away from number 19, Bridgewater Raynham, 28-12. You already got a preview of Lucien Brodie tippy-toeing in the end zone. Let's look at the other top plays of the week. Time to check in on Grayson High School in Loganville, Georgia. Weak side defensive end. He's a 4-star. He's committed to the Crimson Tide. Kevin Harris, what you got?
Kevin Harris, number 44, defensive end, committed to Alabama. I chose to commit to Alabama because it's a place for me, and it's a place where I can maximize all my opportunities and get exactly what I need out of school. One thing I wish I knew about the recruiting process is the pressure that comes with it, and just knowing that everything is in your control, even when things seem tough and there's a lot of pressure going around you. Just gotta stay calm and keep a cool head.
4 hours on my job late. Grinding so hard, keeping up the work rate.
What's it like to sack a quarterback? It's one of the best feelings ever. It's like probably one of the main reasons why I play football. I've been playing defensive end all my life.
The smell of success got me saline right now. Tracks upon tracks, I got them stacked up now.
It's been a crazy first couple weeks in the football season, ties in the NFL in consecutive weeks. I don't know how much crazier it's gonna get, but you do, and you need to send us your top plays at #HudlTop5. Get at us on Twitter and Instagram at Hudl. Our DMs are always open, and we'll see you next week.